Welcome back everybody to another F1 24 driver career mode episode. Today heading off to the Chinese Grand Prix, so let's jump on into it. Alright, so as we jump in, no secret meetings or anything like that to get into, so we just need to focus on the specialist. Overtake 5 cars on track in the race. Like markers not included. Open the DRS slot for more than... we can do that for we should be able to do that during practice sessions. Power unit consultant. Achieve a 15th position of 15th or better in qualifying. Let's do the 15th or better. Essentially just need to make it in the Q2 there. Complete 10. We can do that one. And incur no more than 3 penalties in the race. We can left and coast for 25. Let's do the 3 penalty. It's very unlikely that we're going to get 3 penalties. So, driver details. Let's go through here just a little bit. Making some progress on the race starts, as well as the top 5s, top 10 finishes. No podium finishes, but we've got 1 championship point. The rivalry 3-1, landing championship points. Qualifying results were tied in. We're tied in terms of podium finishes as well. We have the highest qualifying position and the best finishing position as well. But we have been beat in 3 races so far. There's our driver ratings, driver comparison. We're not going to have gained anything there. So let's move to the R&D side of things. Ocon's looking at some durability stuff. I'd rather work on some performance. Let's get that part in the works. Nothing we can do in terms of chassis. We could work on, well, not at the moment, but we can work on a major engine upgrade here soon. Ocon's got gearbox durability in the works, so we'll let that do its thing. We could work on some ICE improvement, but I'd rather go for that engine upgrade. So let's see what we do here. May also be looking at. Never mind.
We've had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, and the entire
maybe we can get
package for the weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.
A chassis upgrade in, but that's going to have to be reordered. When did that say it was going to be in? It's going to be in after the Chinese Grand Prix. So as we move here, Ocon's part and the I can't redevelop that either, because we already got 1 part in. Otherwise, I'd go ahead and redevelop that. No can do. Let's head off to the Chinese Grand Prix and see what we can do there. This is one of my favorite tracks. So we'll see what we can do. Let me jump into some practice. So there are new rules involving the sprint weekends. Sprint weekends have different tire allocations to standard weekends. There are fewer sets in total to choose from, and there are additional restrictions on the use of tires during certain sessions. During qualifying sessions, only soft compound tires can be used. During sprint qualifying 1 and 2, only one set of medium tire compound tires can be used per session during sprint qualifying 3. Only one new set of soft compounds can be used during the session. So, we'll see how this all turns out. We've only got one practice session for this race, so we'll have to make the most of it. But likely it's going to be a longer episode because of that. Also looks like the sprint is going to have some rain involved in it. So let me jump on into, we're looking at a full 10 laps in the sprint as well as 28 laps for the race. It's going to be a longer episode. Let me jump on into practice and then head into sprint qualifying. 300 resource points gained based on all that sort of stuff. Experience goes up quite a lot actually there. And nothing else. It's based on price programs and the laps like normal. Now we head into sprint qualifying. So I don't know if it's different because of the longer format that I'm doing or if it's changed for this year, but we're going to head into sprint qualifying.
Here's something we haven't said
See
for
what
a
we
little while.
can
Welcome.
do for this. Recommended for, okay, so we're going to go with the recommended here. Let's head to the track here. I'm guessing we basically get one shot at a lap here. So let's see what we can do. Gotta be good. And it's gotta be good the first time because China is a very abrasive track for the tires. So you gotta nail it the first time. No hope really at a second lap. So let's do this. Using some of that battery on the front straightaway, making our way through that long right-hander followed by a left-hander. Felt like I got through there very well. And let's keep going here. Feeling good about the lap here so far. I have no idea how it compares to anyone else, but this is a fairly good lap for me. Overran that corner just a little bit. Still a very good lap here so far. Using up that ERS that we can use for the slap. Very good turn in there. The mediums definitely look like they hold up better than the softs do at this track. Puts me in 8th. There's a lot of cars out on the softs. That kind of has me worried though. Did I not play my cards right? No, there's a mix here. Ocon is a 7/10 faster than us with the soft tire. We're gonna have to go back out on the soft tire, I think. Just to try and make it into another session. Alrighty. Actually, we don't want to go out just yet. Let's advance some time here. And head back out. It's going to get us out just in time. China is a fairly long track. And actually, hopefully we make it back to the line in time. Oh yeah, we will. Okay. Yeah, so currently it's in last on the grid. We've got to use the soft tire here. We'll have a shot at SQ2, sprint qualifying to
push down to P20.
We did not use that ERS down the front straight, saving it all for that back straight, where we can make up lots of time. See what we can do here. Been a very good lap for me so far. Alright, up 0.6.
30 seconds left in the session.
Very good run through there as well. Going to use a little bit of ERS here. This nice little boost. Very good there. Gaining some time here. Let's use that ERS. It was a nice good boost here down the straight. Along with the DRS. Okay, out of it. As long as we can hold on to time, it's going to be a really good lap here. Some ERS there. Back on that ERS, up nearly a second. So when it pushes up us up to 14th. So we did make it into Q2, but definitely a reality check there as well. Don't have the speed that we thought we would, so advanced did. Oh, Con does not make it. Albon leads the session. I guess Williams have straight line speed, so that makes sense. Now I'm more interested to see what tires everybody going to run. I'm actually going to wait back some. I'm just going to see what tire everybody's running. They're all running the medium. There's some softs in there. I'm actually better off with the soft tire. I think that's what we're going to run here. But I might as well. We're going to get one shot at this. Cannot mess it up. And let's go out now.
Drop to P15.
Yeah, because we haven't put in a lap yet. We'll see how this works out for us. All the guys at the back are going out on the soft, so that kind of keys me in that that's what we need to do as well. Starting out well here, good run down that straight. Need to be good through that sweeping corner, which I was. And we'll see. I overshot that corner just a little bit. I don't think we're going to be able to make it into SQ3. Maybe I can, but I think it's kind of an outside shot in order to do so. moving here. Track seems to be evolving because there's more hot laps or fastest laps coming in, so that gives me some hope that we can do something here. Ran a little wide there, it's not ideal. Using up all the ERS that we can. Along with the DRS, this is where I think we're gaining quite a bit of time. Down this straight, overshot that corner just a little bit. Let's use some of that ERS. Use our last little bit here.
Right, that's us.
And it is P13, so up a couple positions there. But right about where I expected to be, so very nice there.
Well, that wraps
And
up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back
so advance here. Is this going to play into our rating at all? It may. It does, just a little bit would appear. Pace, that's where it's going to impact us. It's very nice there. Going up some. Yep, 3 higher than expected. And now off to the sprint. Let's make sure there's nothing else here. Sprint we expect to be varied conditions, so actually before we do that, let's check everything. Engine looks good. We'll save the upgrades for later. Yeah, let's head off to the sprint, see what we can do there.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Shanghai International Circuit then is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests the driver's patience. The flats, open to the elements location, test their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and they're available into turn 1 and down the kilometre-long back straight into turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, Norris, Russell, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Bottas, Stroll, Benjamin, Joe, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them, and in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. They're doing what the team require.
Well, that's the thing, you know, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual, it's all about you, and you know you want to further your career the best you can, but you have to have the team hat on as well and play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
So as we head into the weekend, we're going to plan on running the mediums the entire time here, but we know rain is on the way, so we'll see how that impacts everything. And we get away well here, at least initially. Struggling some on the aftermath, trying to run a little wide here, and Joe dives it down the inside, so no real spots gained. Maybe We even lose one here, as Joe is actually set up ideally for that opening corner. Just dove it down the inside. He's still alongside his teammate here, so we'll see if we're able to do anything with that. A little bit of a bump through that corner unsettles the car sometimes. It's a bit of a checkup in front of us. On the brakes early there. We were right on the back of Joe. Going to be using plenty of the ERS here. Maybe use it a bit too early there even. As we've got cars harvesting in front of us with that light on. We take a dive down that corner though. And we've got Joe still to the inside of us. Kind of forces our hand there. We have to back out. And it does not help us at all. We need to have a good run down into this corner. Timing those shifts right to allow for a rotation, but as well as having some speed. And is that some water I see rolling down the window? Or down our, technically our visor, but I think it may be, it definitely is. There is some rain here, so it'll be very interesting to see how that starts to impact this sprint. Likely looking at a pit stop, which is not very common to see in a sprint, with the fact that it's supposed to be short enough that you can make it on just one set of tires, no need for a pit stop. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. See if the pit crew is ready for us. Turn off the ERS here, relying on the DRS. Stroll's going to run here. Big harvest there for the ERS. And may need to turn down the deploy down to none. I've currently got set to medium, but with the very high-speed nature of this track, may need to turn it down to none so we have ERS to use when we need it. But we'll see here. I've stopped seeing raindrops here again, but I think it may be just may just be in this little part of the track, as I definitely slid further than I should have in that corner. I didn't mean to overtake Joe, as it was a massive dive to even get that position, but it worked. Now it's going to be a matter of if we're close enough for the DRS off of Botas. I'm not sure if we are. It is starting to get a little bit more slick. And we do have the DRS off of Botas, using up that ERS as well. See, he pulled away quite well from us there. And making the switch down to none on the ERS deploy. No word from the engineer. There we go.
Start to struggle in these conditions. If we pit for inters now, we're going to be too slow and we'll burn them out. Make the best of it for the time being.
So right as I was about to say, no word from the engineer on the rain. He does give us an update. Enters are going to be too slow at this point, and we'd also burn them out. So that's good information to have. Using up some ERS. They're trying to get within that DRS range of Botas. He's able to gap us some here. So far in the early goings, just on the corners as they fall. Using some ERS here, trying to catch up enough. But I don't think we're going to be able to get close enough.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, we're not going to be close enough to get any ERS off of them. Or any DRS, sorry. So we're going to have to rely on the ERS. Thankfully, we've got lots charged here. Joe's going to be able to get an overtake, though, more than likely. He's got the DRS. We've just got ERS. And no, maybe not. We've got to run wide here. Offer him a little bit of room. We do have the inside here on that corner. And we have the DRS on this straight now.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.5 seconds.
And it is starting to rain more heavily here, visibly so. I think we may be starting to...
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
Alrighty, if you say so. I wonder if that song may change by the end of the lap even. As we are starting to definitely be hindered by the rain here in terms of pace.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Just gotta be careful getting into the braking zones, as well as getting back to the throttle with this rain. Slowly making its way in. Use the battery here, as we're going to have no DRS help. Thankfully, we've got a lot saved up. Need to be more careful getting into that corner for sure. And nobody has come in for any enters at this point, as I go deep into turn one, defending against Stroll. Kind of opened up the door for Joe there for a second, but we survived there. Kind of scary there for a little bit,
We're
but
no longer sure that these tyres are the right ones.
Yeah.
It might be time to come in and change.
I would agree. Box the slap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Thank you. I want to make sure that they've got me heading over to the right tire. Yeah, an enter I think is definitely going to be faster now.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
Stay good release here. And even if nobody else comes in, I'm going in this time for those intermediates. Had to make sure we had the change there to make sure we're getting new intermediates rather than new mediums.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
And we just timed that perfectly. I don't think anybody else has come in. This may really allow us to have a lot more pace over anyone else. So we'll see.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go.
Very good release
Perfect
there
job
too.
from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
We'll see how it affects pace, but
Pit
it is.
strategy complete. See these tires.
The brain is
to the
definitely
end now.
picked up now. So having to feel out these enters. And like I've said, I do like the wets in this game. I need to turn off that ERS. Need to save that overall. And let me see here, compared to some of these back runners, how we're looking as we try to get a feel for the enters at this track. No, the enters are definitely faster here. That's going to be very nice. We're going to have run the faster tire for a lap longer, it looks like. And I don't think we should have any worries about them not being able to go distance. Use up that ERS here, or we're definitely going to be good. Nobody else has come in though. That's quite odd. Even with the DRS disabled, that's quite interesting. Maybe because it's not worth it. Because I know they can just maintain. There's not. With me being the only one who's come down. Yeah, I may have screwed myself here a little bit. But we were making up a lot of time, though I don't think it's going to be enough. I was able to gain a lot there.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 13.7 seconds.
Thing is, if they do decide to pit for the enters, now it's to the point where I've made up so much time on them that we're really going to benefit from it, but I don't, with them not pitting for the enters after DRS has been disabled. I'm not sure if they're going to pit at all, so I'll have to see here. We're coming to 2 to go. I made up a ton of time here so far this lap. So we'll see if we pull up to these guys. I'm not sure if we will or not. I think we can catch them on the last lap even if they don't pit. Does not appear that they're pitting. And with that, now it's just going to be about running them down, seeing what we can do here. We're going to gain a lot on them through the corners. It's going to be a key place to pay attention to that time.
Okay, the forecast suggests this rain's going to keep getting stronger for at least the next 15 minutes.
And that is ideal for us. We want to get as strong as possible so we can catch up as much as possible. And really let these enters eat over those mediums. And we are going to have caught up to the back of the pack here with some nicely charged ERS to help us here as well. Can also play with the slipstream of these other cars. But even just my corner exit is going to send us flying here. I got the ERS going. We're obviously not going to be going for tires here now.
Great maneuver. You made it look so easy.
And I think we can definitely get past Ocon here. That's the one place I want to definitely try to get back. Just gotta be careful not to run into the back of anybody. I don't want to plan this move.
Final lap.
Going to go around the outside for now. Okay, dive down the inside of Albon. Ocon is dealing with some major spin of the tires. And we may be able to get back up to these cars we were battling before. I think we're definitely going to get back to Joe. Maybe even back to Stroll, but that may be pushing it. Though I don't know if I would have held on to 12th place in the end over Stroll had we not gone for the enters. Able to dive it down in there over Joe. And it's going to come down to these last few corners. See if we can overtake Stroll or not. Probably could have been earlier on the ERS, but we're going to use it all up here. We're going to be able to dive it down in deeper than Stroll can. Stroll wins the sprint. Good release here. Use up some of that ERS. And we're able to sail it around the outside there. Up a spot from the beginning. As I think those enters really paid off. I wish others would have gone to him as well, but it was kind of fun to fight our way up through the pack with the faster tire. So now as we move, I'm really excited also to see how this impacts our driver rating, because I felt like that was a really good run. So let's move back into qualifying for the race. Experience goes up, racecraft goes up. I think everything should go up. Awareness goes up, pace goes up, focus should go up. Very nice. Overall, great race. No DNF for experience. Finishing position is higher. 10 overtakes. No penalties, no DNF. 1 warning. I don't remember what the warning was for. Margin to fastest lap. I don't know what that's really saying, but and then the finishing position versus expected. Up 600 there. Let's keep advancing. Need to jump into qualifying now for the race. And that looks like it's going to be sunny, as well as the race is going to be sunny.
Now here's something we haven't said for a little.
So let's jump right on into it. Just going to go with whatever tires they're recommending to me. That's going to be the soft tire. Fair enough. We'll go with whatever. Hopefully we can set a good lap here, and because I know the tires are going to be weird with this weekend, so I overcooked that corner for sure. See what sort of run we can get out of this corner though. I don't feel great about this lap already just because I overcooked it in that first corner, but we'll see what we can do. Good job through there. Using some right here. Had to get out of the throttle there just a little bit. Start using that battery. It's gonna allow me a great run down here. Okay, let's back out of it in terms of the battery. Good there. Let's use some here. And use up the max. And fourth, I think that may be good enough where I feel confident enough to just leave it. Let's see. It's down to 7th. It's going to be close. Let's advance some time here. 15th. No, I can't just leave it. Ocon's not faring the best though, by any means. Let's see what we've got here. I'm just going to try and make it into Q2. So we're going to use our Q2 tires. We can always run a bank lap and then try and make it into Q3 off of that. Select these. So I want to go back in here. Yeah, I don't feel like that's enough to bank on, knowing that other people are probably going to go out for faster laps here. So let's head out now. See what we can do here. And hopefully we can have a better run into turn 1 as well. That would help me. Bump back up in the hot lap mode. Very good there. Use up some of that ERS now. Not too much, but a little bit. Better job focusing through turn 1 there. Much better in terms of time. And decent on the time at the moment. I like how much we're up, and a lot of that was gained just from that first turn. Lost some time through there. Using a little bit of that overtake again. We're going to wait a little bit longer to use some. We're going to use it now. We're slowly losing some time here. Okay, out of the ERS. Going to allow me some extra use here. Back off of it. Just trying to get some better acceleration. There we go. Max it out. I think it was up nearly 3/10 there. 13th. Very nice. And now I can use one of those sets for a bank lap. And Q2. Does Ocon make it? It's gonna be close. Ocon is down in 19th, so very scary there for him. We're going to beat him out once again in terms of qualifying. Really establishing our dominance in terms of qualifying pace and the team. We're going to run on this set. Oh, is that? Maybe we should use that medium in Q1, but oh well. That may mean we have extra some mediums for the race, which may be important. Piastri's not running, Alonso's not running this lap. But Hamilton does appear to be on a hot lap. And probably a bit far back to get any sort of slipstream off of them. But I suppose we'll see. Maybe overshot that a little bit, but I felt like that's still a good corner. Continue to move here. As why is Alonso now? Okay. Maybe he thought we were on a hot lap. I'm not sure. But we may kind of mess Alonso up here. Kind of dashing his hopes for Q3 possibly. I'm not sure, but that's a possibility here. Using some ERS. And using that ERS now. Out of it as we move up into DRS. Went down to first there. Had plenty of ERS to use there. It's going to be basically used up coming to the line. I did not see where that placed us. 13th. Yeah, we're at the back of the grid. Alonso actually ran a slightly faster lap than we did. By 5 thousandths. Oh, shoot. We're going to go out here. Need to make sure we get out. I almost just let it run to the end. But we're throwing a new set of softs. Knowing that even if we do make it into Q3, we're not going to really go any higher. So with that, putting on the final new set of softs. We may even run a banker lap if we make it into Q3. But we'll see there. Very nice turn 1 and 2 there. Keep moving. Be very interested to see if Alonso makes another lap or not. We may have screwed him into a really bad starting position. And it looks like maybe we have, because he improved his time. But only up to 13th, so we may have severely screwed Alonso over. Meanwhile, we are absolutely flying this lap. Using up all the ERS now. A little bit of ERS here.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
A little bit there. Where's it put us? 10th. We have made it into Q3. That is amazing. That was a really good lap as well. So, very nice there. I don't think I'm even going to try to run a bank lap. I think we're just going to go through. I don't think we get a new set. No, we're not even going to try it. Just advance the time. Hope for the best heading into the race. So I don't think there's any way we were going to touch anyone there in terms of time. Everyone still made 2 laps there, so they must have been out on some very old tires.
Qualifying wraps up now.
Let's advance to the race, but first, let's look here. Our pace should go up. Very nice. Helping that driver rating. 6 places higher than expected. Now we will head off to the race, see what that brings. We've got 28 laps and should be quite exciting. So let's jump on in now.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once again. It's a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006, as well as Red Bull's first win with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt there's plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles per hour with DRS assistance down the back straight before the cars break into the tight hairpin at turn 14. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Benjamin, Joe, Albon, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Sargent, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Ocon, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them. And in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. That they're doing what the team require.
Well, that's the thing, you know, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual. It's all about you. And, you know, you want to further your career the best you can, but you have to have the team hat on as well and play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
Alrighty, so looking at the strategy, hard to mediums, I actually want to switch this. Let's edit this. I want to go, or do I have to start out on the hard? Or can I... If I do this, then we can start out on the medium. Then stint 2. Oh, come on. I want to remove this stint. Come on. Remove this stint. Remove that stint. There we go. Now we can move that there. Back. That's the strategy I want to go with. I feel better on the hards late in the race, so we're going to do that. Start the race. And it's kind of a mixed bag here. And long light there, but able to get away fairly well.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss
Oh,
of
and I
power.
damaged the wing right off the bat. Oh, and we had a car to our outside there. We got all sorts of side pod damage as well. Not ideal start to the race here. We take a dive. It works out, we're past both McLarens. So now it's just going to be about maintaining. I need to have a run just like Australia in terms of the consistency. That's what's going to allow me to get through this race and not kill my driver rating. Lots of ERS usage here. Able to defend. Keep moving here.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Going down to none on the
We can now use DRS. DRS now
ERS.
available.
Using some battery here to defend. See here. Oh boy. This is going to be a very long race,
Okay,
I get the
body's
feeling.
taken some damage. You might start to
That
notice
happened a
it soon.
while ago. Happened like an entire lap ago. Actually, over a lap ago. I may have gotten into Piastri there on accident. He had a big wiggle. I'm not sure if that means we hit his wing or if he was just checking up. Yeah, tank slapper or what, but going to have to figure out good times to use the ERS here. I know down this straightaway though is going to be a good time to use it because Norris has gone away from us. Piastri is going to have DRS. Out of it. Only problem is now we've got nothing for the front straightaway. When he's got DRS again. We've got a little bit, I suppose. But not nearly as much as I would like. And also allowed him to get to our inside. The outside's going to become the inside though. And allow me to maintain until he's using up some of that, his extra ERS there. We dive it down, get back past him. He's using some more here. It's almost kind of forcing our hand a little bit in terms of using my ERS. But I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sit and try using for
Just watch out for it.
some DRS if I can. But I've got to be able to stick with them here. Gotta use the ERS here, stick with them enough. I can constantly just almost mine him for some DRS. Back out of the ERS. Need to save that. And this has turned into quite the squabble of cars. As Stroll makes contact with us, I don't think that was my fault, but that one was definitely not my fault. We've got him right where we want him though. We end up with the inside there. I just need to make sure I can stick with Piastri for some of that DRS. But it's quite difficult to do while I'm battling Stroll. So nope, he's going to be away from us too far. And that's not good because I don't really... Okay, Stroll's going to give it to us instead, I think. Just got to maintain here some. I'm hurting from not having... with having that wing damage here some, but we're going to try to dive it down the middle of these cars and able to make it work.
Okay, be very careful. The floor's incurred massive damage.
What's that? I don't know. Oh, please just get away from me. I much preferred the sprint when
Battery charge is high.
nobody was around us.
Button a bit more.
Because I definitely cannot keep pace with these guys. But to be fair, neither can
Engine's running too hot. Engine is running too hot. Let's keep it a bit cooler for now, please.
Ocon. He was running in 19th for qualifying, so we'll see what we can do here. I need to actually avoid using ERS here, I think, in order to cool off the engine. We'll see here though. Pay attention to that engine temp. Nope, we should be fine. Let's find where we're at. Let's see here. Just need to do that for... Oh, we need to do it for another 2 laps. Okay. We should be able to do that. We're absolutely cooking the left front, especially down into turn 1.
There's serious damage to the underbody. Repeat, serious damage to the underbody.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm sure that's not helping my pace either. We're seriously slow right now. I can almost feel within the handling of the car when one of those tires goes red.
The grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
If that makes sense. Oh, that was very stupid move on my part. I should have just given way, but I did not. Using the ERS. Like but back to the tires, like there's a shift in the handling on the car when those tires get up to that red, get up to that temperature where they go red on the display here, so it's kind of interesting. And that way, gotta use some ERS here. Try to defend into turn 1. Able to clear there, very nice. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that our objective wasn't like a tire wear or temperature one, but I'm fine with it. Our engine temps were easy enough. I did check up there. I did not want even more wing damage. Oh, but that tire just will not turn after a certain temperature. Need to stick with Botas here. We're going to cook that tire again. Coming out of this corner. Just ready for it. I probably should have deployed ERS sooner. A massive run on Botas. But not really able to do anything. It's just slowly dropping back. The thing that may help me though is the fact that with running the mediums and the earlier stint, it's going to allow me to, means I'm going to be pitting sooner, which may allow, I think there's going to be a massive undercut here, which should play right into my hands. So no gets past. We're able to make it work with the dive. Yeah, my tires have just fallen off, I think. We'll have to look here to confirm that, but...
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, it's just a number of factors. I've still got to take these tires a little ways. Going to be completely done by the end of the stint. Oh boy, there's multiple cars making headway on me. All the way on the brakes there. Also this completely beat up. All the different times we've been hit in the sides by other cars. Actually going to pull back up that screen. It's going to be better for me to know what's going on. I already know that the tires are just going to be dead. What was that for? I didn't do nothing. I about died. Oh my word. And what's kind of scary here... Okay, never mind. I think we just may be the worst car on track at the moment. We're finding tire wear really badly. We're gonna have a massive run here. We're gonna be able to get past Sonoda again. Or not, because I overshot the corner. Oh, and I've still gotta go. I don't even know how long on these tires. But I know we were battling for the really the last spots on the grid, which is just unfortunate. There's not really any strategy I can play. Let me go up to a medium deploy here for a little bit, see if that helps me out at all. In these spots where the AI are just so much faster than me. Keep moving here. I'm not going to have any DRS from Sonoda.
Okay,
It's too far in front of me.
1.6 seconds.
Yes, I'm aware. Let's go, let's go. Using that deploy button. Just use up all the ERS I had. And just sending it down into that corner. Oh, that curve really upset the car.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
I'm having to use that ERS aggressively. Oh boy. Let's say we're close to the pit stop. I'm not even sure. I think we are. But I just know we're not going to get to that pit stop soon enough. The tires are just dead. The medium tire just is not the best tire for us. I'd rather have a soft to hard strategy rather than soft to a medium in all reality. See how it uses the ERS here. Okay, Ocon is apparently just going to ride behind us. Now he makes a move. It's going to be too late though. We're going to be able to... Oh, we were 4 wide into the hairpin. I wasn't backing out. Y'all are the stupid ones.
Take each other out.
That was not my fault. Okay. Actually, it was that Haas that made it 4 wide. That's his fault. Oh, and Ricardo got past me there. I couldn't defend it well enough. Oh, I still gotta survive 2 laps on these tires.
Okay, mate. Elbows out is great, but not that way. Come on, we can do better than that. Let's keep it clean, please.
1 more and 2. Oh boy, that'll be fun. Especially with the position that we're in right now. Yeah, that'll be bunches of fun. Well, I can't promise anything if they take it 4 wide into the hairpin again. I've already lost Ricardo, so no DRS here.
Okay, be aware we expect severe loss of grip from the tyres very soon.
It's been here for past 10 laps. Oh, I didn't even get up to 8th gear. Okay, that one was not my fault. Don't penalize me for that. That one was not my fault. Thank you.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Thank the Lord. About time. Okay, we've got 3 more laps to go. With the objective. It appears that that little 4 wide incident has really hurt Ocon. I'm not sure if I did it to him, but he may have some damage. As slowly making our way around the track. We're up to 84% on the
okay, pit in
left
this
front.
lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll
Yes,
be
thank
penalised
you.
if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Just get me to pit road, please. The car is not set up for this. Just give me new tires, please. Here we go. Thank you. There we go. There are a few others, it looks like, who've decided to pit. But none that are really going to impact our race. I think Sonoda's just gotten way far ahead of us.
Okay, off we go. Back into the race. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks
I
like a
maybe
nice stop
should
time.
have,
Happy with that one. That was our
um,
last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
fix
Let's go.
the... Yeah, maybe should have fixed the wing, but I'm not that worried about it. In all reality, so I know it's just going to cost me more time. Goal right now is to be able to beat out Bottas, so I should be running much faster here with some fresh rubber. So hopefully the undercut works well, opposed to the overcut. Run those hards first. Keep moving. Already up to 4% wear. We're not gonna lap in on these tires. That's just insane. And they're a fresh set of hards too. It's not like they've been worn excessively already.
Okay, gap ahead.
Okay, we'll see.
21.8
Okay,
seconds.
Ricardo's way out in front of us. Main guide to see how well this pit strategy has worked is going to be comparing ourselves to Ocon,
The car ahead of you
as
is
well
the hard
as
tires. Car ahead now on the hard compound.
both the Haas cars. So they're the ones We are right around when we went into the pits. And hopefully I don't burn through these like I did the mediums, but I get the feeling that could happen as well, so we'll see here. I will say though, with them running longer, it makes this objective a lot easier. Ocon is now in the pits. I'm not sure how that sets us up in comparison to him. I think it's going to be close, for sure. It's going to be out on that medium. It's coming out now. We're going to have a bit of a gap over him. Benefits us by about 3 seconds, it would appear. I think you're going to see that medium tire definitely falls off late in the race. As we've still got 13 laps to go here. As the same length that I ran my medium tire. So, but they've already made up a lot of time on me. I think that's somewhat the
front, 6.9 seconds.
Somewhat that front wing coming into play. Some of it is I'm getting quite tired. This is quite an exhausting race. But we'll see what we can do here. In the long term, we may just have to let Ocon have another race finish better than us, but we'll have to see here. Hulkenberg's in the pits. This will really show us the power of the undercut. He tried for a massive overcut, did not work. That's a bad turn one. And Ocon is here. And maybe just as wise for me to let Ocon go here. Which is what I'm going to try to do. And just ride along behind them. Try to get me away from these Haas cars, maybe. If I can get some DRS off of them, that would help. I think we're just so slow. I mean, we're even slow enough. I think there's a possibility that the leaders may catch us. I feel that slow right now. I missed the downshift there. I may have lost Ocon. I've lost him. Oh boy. How much is that? I see Warren. I know we got a notification about that. IC is at 58%. Not in a good spot.
Teammate ahead of us, 1.9 seconds.
I don't think we can realistically finish any higher than 20th. I just gotta let those guys go. I gotta just run next 11 laps by myself. Maybe they come back to me. But I just can't compete with them. I don't know if it's the tires, I don't know. I really don't know what it is, but just cannot keep the car going and competing with them.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
gap
it's
to the car ahead, 1.7
really
seconds.
crazy how much time they're able to keep here. We'll see if their medium tires fall off at all. But I think it's somewhat the side pod damage as well as the wing damage that we've got as well. I think that may be playing part into it. But we're just so slow, so maybe we'll say hi to the leaders. But this is gonna be just absolutely a brutal way to follow up that sprint where I felt like we had some pace and we made our way back up through the pack. No can do here. It is perfectly blue skies. There's no sort of strategy that we can play. We need a safety car.
Clear track around
So
us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go.
130. They want me to run nearly a perfect lap. Alright. We'll have to go up into a hot lap mode to save some battery now. I think it's going to be hard to achieve that time, but we'll try it. We're coming to still 9 laps to go. I haven't really noticed the longer races so far, but this is one that I'm noticing on. This is a really long race. I don't know what it is, but it has completely worn me out. And we're not even all the way through it.
Okay,
Maybe it's
keep
that
an eye on
sprint
gap ahead, please. 8.7 seconds.
race on top of what we're already doing. I bet it's that. It's the fact that I've got... Well, Justin... Just in this episode alone, which I've already been recording for nearly 2 hours. And that time we're going to have 28 laps here in the race. We had 10 laps in the sprint. I had I don't remember how many laps in practice, but I think that was around 10. Then we had probably about 10 laps worth in all the qualifying sessions. So we're looking at about 58 laps here, just in me having done in this episode for this recording. So kind of makes sense why I'm so exhausted when you start looking at that. I'm not going to be able to hit that objective, not on the tires and the condition that they're in. What I should have done, I should have pitted and gotten a set of mediums, if I have a fresh set of mediums. I'm not sure if I do. if I did, I should have pitted to get some mediums. And then I could have gotten back out of the pits and it's a super fast lap in comparison with those mediums. So
11.5 seconds.
I'm just waiting for the leaders coming back by me. Kind of be nice to see someone again. We haven't seen anyone on the minimap at the moment, so not likely to happen, unfortunately. 40% on the left front. The rear tires aren't taking a beating at all. They're just chilling. All.
That wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but listen, don't worry about it. It's a long way to go, so let's just focus till the end.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me how long we've got. We've got 7 laps here still. It is very tempting just to retire the car, but I know that even with being tired, when we come back here in the future, having extra laps underneath my belt can only help me. Even if I'm tired while I'm doing them, it's still extra laps to get done. And it's given me experience in the game with the handling model, seeing different tire wear, stuff like that, so just keep moving. The other thing that's probably getting to me is it gets quite warm in my room while I'm doing these recordings between me having to work the wheel as well as the fans running for the wheel, along with the computer running its fans and stuff. It gets quite warm in here, so that's also playing into part of why I'm so exhausted, I would think. So 6 laps to go, and then we get to breathe a sigh of relief.
Gap to the car ahead, 15.6 seconds.
Yeah, I'm aware. I can't imagine how far the leaders are going to be in front of me if they don't get to me first. That is also a possibility, is that the leaders actually catch me, because that's how slow I'm going. I'm guessing I've got to be at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds slower than leaders a lap, which would actually put me really close to being lapped by this thing, based on how long it takes to get around here and everything. So keep moving here. Up to 51% on the left front. Car also does not like that bump. Also, they really need to update this track, because where I'm going off track in that last corner, I believe there's a sand trap there now. So this may be a track that's due for an update. Now we've got an engine warning light that has popped up now. Let's take a look at that. I think it's because we've reached 60% on the ICE. That's also not helping me out. But I think, I don't know, there's so many different factors that are hurting me right now.
I expect you'll be noticing a bit of grip loss in the tyres around now, so just be careful.
It doesn't even matter right now, so keep moving. The Haas cars and Ocon are having a nice little squabble up in front of us. You know, as I start finish line right about now, but keep moving. Only 4 laps to go now.
18.8 seconds.
Thanks for making me feel so great about myself. It's just don't throw the car in the trash can. Bum, bum, bum. I saw leaders in the turn 1. I did catch a glimpse of some cars, so it may still happen. It'd be close though. I don't think there's quite enough time for them to, so it'd have to be on their last lap, which means they really only have about 2 laps now to make up enough time, and I don't think that's going to happen. There's all your leaders. They have caught up a significant amount, but I don't think it's going to happen for them to get past me. If they do, it just shows how bad I really am right now. I mean, besides the fact that guys I was running with before pit stops and then immediately after pit stops are 20 to 21 seconds in front of me. After what, they got 10 laps on their tires, so in only 10 laps, that's how far away they've pulled. Just crazy. So and maybe it's just kind of a team thing that we're struggling with tire wear. I'm not sure, because it's not like Ocon and the Haas cars are making up any time on Ricardo or them, so seeing how the Haas cars are performing as well, it's kind of making me wonder. I don't think we actually really want to join them now with a performance patch that I'm sure is coming eventually. If that comes out before we go to sign with anyone, then maybe it'd be tempting to go to the Haas. But we just have to kind of see, right? Because at this point, I think the Alpine is definitely better than the Haas. Overall, I mean, yes, the Haas drivers are doing better than the Alpine drivers at this particular track, but I think overall they've been towards the back more so than even like Williams or any of them. They've been the ones who have been qualifying at the back and stuff like that. So
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
or we cannot and just run out the rest of these laps happily. I mean, that would work too, wouldn't it? We're super high on the tire wear this lap as well. Or in this stint, not this lap. I'm getting thoroughly exhausted here. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. And
gap to the car.
now we're on the final lap of the race.
Final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. 24.2 seconds.
Just in my misery. Sainz has won the race already. They were, tell you what, if they would have had another couple of laps, they were only about, I don't know, another 15 seconds behind me. Giving them another 5 laps, they would have been there for sure. So yeah, just unfortunate that the race turned out like this. I mean, for the past, what has it been? Really, the last 15 laps, I've just kind of sat here by myself. So we didn't stick with Ocon and the Haas cars for very long. They got away from us pretty quickly, so yeah, just not what we needed. It's definitely not an ideal weekend to have the longer race, but it all works out.
All right, race over.
Bring it home in 20th. It's going to impact our driver rating, I'm sure, but it is what it is. There's nothing there's no way I could have held on to the Haas cars. They were 26 seconds ahead of me at the end of the race, so
They'll be smiles at the factory after that. Here come our winners now.
Sainz wins. See how everything else shakes out.
It's been an absolutely wild weekend
Sainz,
of
Perez,
Formula One
Leclerc,
action. I
Verstappen,
can't
Hamilton,
wait to see
Alonso,
what's next.
Norris, Russell, Albon, Piastri. Nope, that's the overall weekend. Hold up. Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Alonso, Albon, Stroll, Guan Yu, Piastri, Bottas, Tsunoda, Sargent, Ricardo, Magnussen, Ocon, Hulkenberg, and us. Let's head back to the main menu, see how this all has impacted our ratings. Experience goes way up. Racecraft down, awareness up, pace up, focus is down, but overall still gaining rating there. Experience is up because we are leading the teammate rivalry. Good to know there. And the objective. Racecraft is down because of our finishing position compared to our starting position. But balanced out somewhat by the overtakes and the rivalry. Awareness is up because of no penalties and the objective, no DNF, and the rivalry. 3 warnings take away some though. Pace is up because of the rivalry, and focus is down because of finishing position versus the expected. In terms of recognition, stays the same. Let's keep going here. We should complete all the specialists. We do, yep. So as we head back to the main menu here, let's see if there's anything special going on for the next episode. Does not appear to be. Looks like we've got a decent amount of stuff coming in for the car though. Let's take a look. Oh, it looks like, yep, we're at a 73 compared to the target goal of 74. I've got 2 parts coming in. Okan's got 3. The IC is going to need to get changed out here soon. Looking at the standings, we haven't really gone over this. Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Alonso, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Piastri, Bottas, Stroll, Guan Yu, Albon, us, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Ocon, Sargent, Magnussen, Ricardo. Yeah, so currently sitting in 8th in terms of the constructors. It says led by Ferrari, followed by closely by Red Bull. Everything is very tight at the top in terms of the standings, so there'll be something to keep an eye on late in the season. But next race is heading off to Miami, so we'll see what we can do there. But hope you enjoyed today's episode, even with the bad finish to it, but it was very exciting at the beginning. But please subscribe if you're new, especially if you've enjoyed this. Again, this is kind of an oddity. It ended up being super long with the sprint race long in there, but hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.